Hi everyone, so today we're doing a back and shoulder stretch class. All you'll need is a mat. If you have very open shoulders and you feel like you might need more of a challenge, then you can grab some yoga blocks or something that resembles a yoga block just to add a little extra height for one stretch. And let's get started. Let's start with our cardio warm-up. So we're gonna go into little runs.
You pulling me closer, but don't waste your time. Don't have any time for all your empty lies. I used to think that you were only mine, but I was blinded by a shallow light. I'll call your friends, I'll let them know that I'm so done with the tragic boys. Tonight I'll get into my zone. I'll dance until the tears are gone. No time for
Good, let's go into our jumping jacks.
love, bad love. I'm dancing all these tears away. No time for bad love, bad love, bad love. I'm dancing all these fears away. Don't need you. Don't need you. Meeting you just made me realize all the things I used to sacrifice just to please you, just to call you mine. But
Step touches. So we'll start with the step touches. And let's add that raise the roof. Here we go.
let them know that I'm so done with the tragic boys. Tonight I'll get into my zone.
And then we're gonna go forward and back. So forward and think of kicking your bum and really open up the chest. So try to get your elbows to touch behind your back.
All these tears away. No time for bad love, bad love, bad love.
Back to those runs. Here we go.
Don't need you. Don't need you. Don't need you. Dancing all these tears away. Dancing all these tears away. Dancing all these tears away.
And jumping jacks.
Dancing all these tears away. 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 No time for bad love, bad love, bad love. I'm dancing all these tears away. No time for bad love, bad love.
Step touch it.
Dancing all these fears away.
And let's add that raise the roof. Here we go. Forward and back. Really open up that chest. Maybe lots of shoulders today. One more. Good job. Just walk it out. Let's take our feet into a nice wide stance. Roll those shoulders back and down. And just going into the head, we'll look up and down. And then we'll look side to side.
Keep coming back for your time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind.
Little head tilts, ears to shoulder. And
When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove. Yeah.
good. Let's hold this side here. Think of that gentle pull. Reach that opposite hand down to the ground.
Baby, I got when you feel like falling.
From here, I want you to just think of looking down on a slight diagonal. Almost like you're smelling your armpits.
No matter the route. Yeah.
And you're still thinking of that opposite hand reaching for the ground. So let's just circle it over to the other side. here to the shoulder, pulling down just very gently, and you reach that other hand down for the ground. And then we'll look down on that diagonal. And then let's just think of bringing our chin to our chest, interlace those fingers, and just very gently pulling down on the back of the head to stretch out the back part of the neck. And we'll release the hands, looking up into the shoulders. Let's roll it. 2, 3, and 4. Elbows, circle. 2, 3, and straight arms for 8. 3, 2, and forward small. 1, 2, 3, and elbows. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big circles. Keep it going. Good, reach those arms nice and side. You're gonna think of side bending. Pretend that you're grabbing onto something and you're gonna squeeze that oblique and pull it back up. A little bit faster. And one more, other side. Good, back to center. Just bend those elbows, little twist. So think of those hip bones facing forward. You're just twisting the rib cage. Back to center. Let's bend the knees, arch the back, and then you're gonna curl the spine. Bring it back up to standing. Again, arch and back up. Really focusing on rolling through the spine. Just waking up all of those little vertebrae in the back. And this time we'll take it all the way down to the ground. Straighten out those legs. Little bum wiggle side to side. Bend those knees, so we're just gonna bend looking up and straighten. And let's do it a little bit faster. So we'll bend and stretch and stretch. Last one. And then we'll add that little bend of the knees, rolling it all the way back up to standing through each vertebrae of the spine. So now that we should be feeling a little bit warm, I want to talk about going into those back bendings. So if my fists were vertebrae, you always want to think of lengthening the spine, creating that space in between your vertebrae before going into that back bend. Yeah, you never want to think of, again, these are vertebrae, I'm just going to crunch and go into my back bend. That's going to cause lots of damage. So always think of that lift up before going back or to the side. So keeping that in mind, let's bring our feet together. We're gonna think of really pressing those heels into the ground. Think of inhaling, reaching the hands nice and high. We're interlacing the fingers, creating this little like finger gun, and roll those shoulders back and down. I'm keeping my core engaged, so I don't wanna think of sitting again. Space in between all of the vertebrae. And we're gonna just inhale, think of reaching up to the ceiling. Exhale just a little over to the side, and then bring it back up. And again, over and up. And every time that you go through center, you're inhaling. Keep that core squeezed so you don't want to open up the rib cage. You want to keep them nice and closed. As I'm doing this too, I also want to make sure that both of my shoulders or both of my armpits are facing forward. I don't want to point them down to the ground. Nice and open. And let's go back to the first side that we did, and we're just gonna hold it here. So I want you to think of someone has my hands and they're pulling me this way, and someone has my hip bone and they're pulling me this way. So again, that space, I don't want to think of crunching into my side. I'm lengthening. So really feel that pull, 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 pull. It's also nice when we do lots of pull training and lots of those leg tangs, there's lots of positions where we squish our sides. So we do want to take that time to open them back up. Good, let's exhale, squeezing that oblique back to center. Just recenter yourself off, nice and tall, inhale. Exhale, take it all the way down. So someone's pulling my fingertips, someone's pulling that outside hip bone away from one another. Both of my armpits are facing forward. Don't let them cave in. Open, and the shoulders are pressing away from my ears. So a nice long neck. Good, let's take a big inhale. Exhale, squeeze that core. Back to center. Good, let's bring those arms back down. So another one, let's face to the side so you can see my back. I'm gonna place the back part of my hands kind of on my lower back. Think of squeezing the elbows together. And again, with thinking of that creating space within the vertebrae, you're gonna inhale, nice and tall, and exhale, you're gonna think of going over into that little back bend. And then as I come up, I'm thinking of connecting that core again, back to that nice tall spine. So inhale into that back bend, nice and tall. And then as you exhale, you're squeezing the core back to standing. And again. One last one here. Good, let's keep it going forward and take it all the way down into your forward fold. And just kind of let everything hang, just releasing that back. So that tall spine, I want you to carry that throughout the course of the class and anytime you do any sort of back bending, just to protect all of those little vertebrae and those discs in your back. Good, let's place the hands on the ground. We're gonna step the feet back into your downward dog position. And you can walk out the feet here. Take a little moment. And then we'll just press both heels into the ground. So next we're gonna go into our sun salutations. So I want us to think of inhaling and really think of curling that spine into your plank. You're gonna exhale, taking it all the way down. And then I'm gonna inhale, going into that Cobra or upward facing dog, and exhale, press it back. And again, we're gonna inhale to that plank. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale, up. And of course, you're following Mei Fong. If you find this one to be a bit too much, so she's dropping to her knees. And then just going into the Cobra as far as you can. There's no need to press into anything, especially when you're doing your back bending and your shoulders. You want to be kind to yourself. You don't want any injuries there. So in this last one, I want us all to meet in that cobra. Everyone meet here in our cobra. Great work. Let's think of milking it all the way down. So now we're getting into the nitty-gritty back bendy stuff. So at any point in time, if you find that it's too much, you can always press back, take it into that child's pose. So rest the forehead on the ground, allow the pelvis to sink onto the heels, and just take a couple deep breaths. That's your relaxed position, just until that back maybe stops screaming at you, and then join whenever you feel ready. So from here, we're gonna reach our hands out nice in front of us, and we're just gonna take little baby steps up into our cobra. So we're just gonna step and just a little hold here. Now remember, we're creating space in our spine. So I want you to think of pressing the hands into the ground and really think of pulling the head up towards the ceiling. Good, let's take another little baby step. And you're pressing the hands in and thinking of that nice tall spine. And again, another little step up, nice and tall. And last one, so at this point you should be at your highest cobra, whatever that means to you. And then let's just reverse it. So we're just walking it back down. Little step, hold, pushing, finding that tall spine. And again, stepping it down. And into that little baby cobra. And all the way down. Let's do that again. We'll walk it up. Step. And again, another little step up. Step it up to your tallest cobra. So if you want even more of a stretch, you can think of releasing that neck and looking up at the ceiling. And let's reverse it, so take it down. And all the way down. Let's walk it up one more time. Little step. So now we're at our tallest cobras. So I'm going to start with my left hand, and I'm going to bring it right in front of me. So kind of like right in front of my nose. And your other hand, you're going to start with it in front of you, thinking palm down. You're gonna open the palm up, looking back as if you're trying to find your tail, and then you're gonna bring it back to center. And again, we'll open and back. And bringing it back to center. You're gonna think rotating, thumb up. Keep that hand close to your ear, and you're gonna pulse it back. Good, and bring it all the way down. So think of replacing the other hand. So now it's right in front of our nose. You're gonna reach the hand out, palm down, open it up, looking back, and bring it back to center. This whole time, I'm still thinking of pressing tall into the spine. And bring it back to center. So you're gonna rotate, pointing that thumb up. Keep that shoulder really close to the ear, or sorry, the arm close to the ear, and pulse it back. And bring it back. Just center yourself back into that cobra, and you're gonna milk all the way down. Press it back into your child's pose and just take a moment right here to have a couple of breaths, a little break for that back. Let's roll it all the way up to a seated position. So we're gonna go into our shoulders next. So I want us to think of kind of coming up onto the hands and knees. So your bum is directly on top of your knees. So I want you to think of this being in a nice straight line. I'm gonna reach my hands out in front of me, and I'm gonna sink, trying to get my armpits to touch the ground. I'm keeping my butt up. I'm not pressing it back though. So depending on your shoulder flexibility, I do want you to try to look forward. But if that's too much, again, you're following Mei Fong, so see how she's looking at the ground, keeping her neck a little bit more in alignment and working on opening up those shoulders. Now, if you have really, really open shoulders and you feel like you need a little bit more of a challenge, you're gonna find your blocks. You can use one block, you can use 2 blocks, or anything that you have at home that's about this height or a little bit smaller. You're gonna place your hands on the blocks and then again, look forward. Sink the armpits towards the ground. And let's press it all the way back. So bring that bum back down onto the heels. Same kind of idea. The only difference is this time I'm going to take that hand, I'm going to touch the same shoulder. I'm going to reach it back and tap the same shoulder. I'm going to think of my bum being up, so I still have that straight line. The bum is directly on top of the knees. We're gonna walk it out, and then thinking of looking forward, sinking the armpits down to the ground. If this is too much, you're looking down at the ground. And I also feel this stretch going up into my triceps as well. If you need more of that stretch, grab your blocks, place your elbows on top, and sink down. Out of it nice and gently. It's a bit awkward to get out of that. So now that our back should be pretty warmed up, we're gonna go into our bridges. So let's take it down onto our backs. We're gonna think of the hands coming up and over. So my fingertips are pointing towards my shoulders. I'm gonna stay strong in my legs and push my feet and my hands into the ground to push all the way up. So I'm really thinking of trying to push my feet into the ground, push my hands in the ground, try to think of straightening the legs and think of sending the hip bones up to the ceiling. Or just holding here, taking a couple of deep breaths. And if you're following Mei Fong, she's just not pushing as high up. But make sure you're not applying any pressure to the head. You want to keep the weight into the hands and feet. And let's bring it back down. Good, just hug those knees into the chest, rocking side to side. Little baby breather. We're gonna do that one more time. Here we go. Let's put those feet down. Hands up and press it into your bridge. Now for more of a stretch, you can kind of play around in your bridge by straightening the legs and looking forward. This gets a little bit more into the shoulders. Or you can think of walking the hands closer towards the feet and trying to look through the legs. Good, and bend all the way down and give your knees a little hug. So let's just place our feet onto the ground. We're gonna go into some core work. It's really important after doing a bunch of back bending to reclose that rib cage. So when we're back bending, we're really opening it up. So we wanna think of closing that core to finish off on with our day. So let's just go into some crunches. We'll bring it up and down. Head down, reach the hands. We're just gonna alternate little heel taps. So just tapping side to side. Good job. Hug those knees into the chest. And let's bring ourselves all the way up to that seated position into our boat pose. So you could keep the toes down like Mayfong or reach it out, reach those arms out. We're gonna take it down and up. Good, and bring it in. Holding onto those legs, we're gonna roll like a ball. So just tuck the chin into the chest, rolling it back and back up. This one always feels good after back bending. Just massaging out that spine. And this time we're gonna hold it back. Bring those legs up into your plow pose. So you could use your hands on the lower part of your back just for that extra support. And you're just reaching your toes as far back as you can. Even for more of a stretch, you can think of bending those knees and really curling. And just gently rolling it all the way back down and bring yourself all the way up to that seated position. Going into our child's pose. So rotate it around. Reach those arms in front of you, head on the mat. And just take a couple of deep breaths here. One more big inhale. As you exhale, you're gonna roll yourself all the way up into a seated position. Let's tuck the chin into the chest and you're gonna curl your spine down. You can use your hands and just gently apply pressure on the back of the neck or the back of the head just to help curl that spine, stretching it the opposite way than we have been stretching it. Gently release it and bring it back up to that nice tall seated position. Reach those hands on the ground. Let's tuck those toes. Bring it up to a forward fold. Walk the hands in towards the feet, bend those knees, and again, let's roll it all the way up, going through each vertebrae of the spine, and just roll those shoulders back and down so you're standing nice and tall. Good, let's bring it forward. Nice wide stance into our breasts. Let's take a big inhale. Exhale and flop it down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, drop it down. Let's do one more big inhale. Exhale, flop the body down, and let's roll those shoulders out and shake it out. Amazing work today.